I'm Bart Rademacher, and this is Transformational Art at Burning Man, and this is my second interview today. Really, stoked about this whole experience, really because I'm using a whole new system where I get to integrate an intro and outro, and really just becoming much more aligned with the entire experience at Burning Man. And so today, again, just amazing artists that we get to connect with, because that's the whole purpose of this interview series. Finding out the magic and the talent and the genius behind all these amazing people making these incredible creations so that it can tickle our brains, get us all excited and giddy, and really begin to explore a universe that's completely foreign to us. Or perhaps not. It's not foreign to us. We're just so used to it, but we just don't get enough of it. And it's always a delight to hear the background, the story, the obstacles, the challenges, the failures, but as well as the victories. And I think an essential element of all these amazing people is to get to know them personally. I mean, there's nothing more fun than when you interact with this incredible art piece, but you also know who created them. And so today, talking to Kelly and her entire crew, and I'm so excited and stoked to be connected with you. So thank you for joining me.
Of course, thank you for the invitation. Yeah.
So Kelly, we've been talking a little bit, and you have a very unique idea of bringing water, to the desert. And how did you come up with this idea, and what is this resourcefulness, if you will, of the creature that you're bringing to the fire?
So I have always sort of found that octopus have found their way into my art over the years. I mean, I've gone with drawing with them. I've found them in my paintings. I've sculpted them with ceramic and clay. I've built lampshades out of armature wire and resourced paper. So it just kind of felt natural to sort of veer that way when I was thinking about what I would like to bring to the playa. And what's interesting is that they are very unique creatures. They have a lot of intellect. They're very smart. They're resourceful. And they're interesting to look at. They have a lot of texture. They're able to find their way in and out of very small spaces. They can change color. Some of them are poisonous. There's so much to them in general that it makes them very unique to sort of develop a relationship with. And that relationship that I personally have developed over the years has grown significantly, and it's always been different. And so recently getting into working with metal and large scale art, it kind of just felt right to move in that direction. And because they are sort of soft creatures, almost velvety-like, to feel them, to sort of see them with a very hard material has been interesting. And designing the project was fun too, because we get to dress it up and make it look very ornate and delicate, but it's going to be this giant octopus that floats off the ground that you can come walk underneath and immerse yourself. And so that's really exciting. And it's been a lot of fun working with everybody here. They all have brought their own unique talents to the team, and it's been a lot of fun working together, and it's been really nice seeing them get into their zone with the project as well, because they're all very talented, and it's nice to see this project develop way more than I had originally anticipated. And so it's going to be really something special to experience this year.
That's one of the neatest things that I find about all the arts in Burning Man is that collaboration. There's so many different souls and so many different energies, and we were just talking a little bit before the interview, how fun that can be, and just the synergy and the harmony and the fun, but also the expansion and the sharing of stuff. I think that's so awesome, and I'd like to in a little bit hear a little bit from the others. But first of all, what comes to mind when you're talking about the octopus right away, and it's a bit of tongue-in-cheek here, but octopuses are really escape artists, if I remember correctly in my learning, And so it's almost like, we're also escaping from the real world, or we're going to a default world, however you want to define it. And it's sort of like, we get to leave the normal existence that we have outside and get to, be where we really want to be. Because there's something truly amazing. You're right. I mean, to understand what an octopus is, it's a bizarre thing in a way. But you shared something really important. And this is, I guess epitomizes, a lot of the art at Burning Man, is that you develop a relationship. I mean, if you're that person that's going to revisit that art piece, and I think yours is one specifically designed for that, you revisit that art piece, you start developing a relationship, but every time you go back, you have a different experience. You want to expand on that and tell us, how you're actually creating that?
Well, I feel like art is relative to the audience viewing it, and so all of us have our own unique experience and energy exchange that we have when we interact with art. So, we're all going to have a different experience with it, even if we're there together, and that's really important. And I feel like having everybody that has been coming to help build this project, all of their energy is now in that project too. And so you experienced the art itself, you experience everybody that has put their time and their effort and their energy into it. So it's sort of, it's a much bigger experience than the art piece itself. And it's something that you can feel, which is really important.
So tell me what have been perhaps some of the challenges that you guys have encountered, because I mean, with any project like this, it's never, a smooth road. I mean, there's always something that happens, and, I think that's a testament to the courage of you guys to embark on something like this, because it's not any small feat.
Well, I will share for me, it's been meeting the timelines that we've sort of set and not really anticipating how many hurdles we would sort of hit along the way. And so trying to continue to meet timelines and deadlines for certain aspects of it has been very challenging. And anybody else?
Anybody else want to share?
Yeah.
The metal curving learning curve has been interesting. Trying to, I think a lot of us have experience in crafting different ways, but for some of us, metalworking is pretty new. And learning to curve tubes, it seems pretty simple, and then you try to get it into complex shapes that mimic the organic and unique structure of each, tentacle or the body parts of the anatomy of the octopus. The morphology is very interesting, and so trying to get our creature to that feel is fun and challenging, and we're learning a lot.
Do you sometimes think, when you look at some of those installations there, that this is your chance to really get out there, try the most craziest or most difficult things? Because in a sense, it's that environment that really invites that versus, back home where, you have to kind of follow certain rules. But that in of itself, can be pretty difficult, right?
Definitely. I feel like as artists, we sort of like that challenge.
Uh-huh.
And working with the difficulties that we have encountered so far with this project has really led to a lot of growth in the very short time that we've been working on it. And that is very fulfilling. Seeing the art out on playa is inspiring, and that is my experience with the art out there is definitely what inspired me to want to bring my own art.
Right.
This is the largest project that I have ever worked on, and so that in itself was a huge challenge, and so literally would not be able to do it without the team.
Absolutely. So how big is your team? Is it just you guys here now, or there's a lot more?
There's been a lot of people that have been coming by to help, but this is big core team.
Yeah.
So what's been the funnest part? I mean, I think you guys are sharing how much fun it was. What's the best part of all this?
300 trips to Home Depot a day.
You know, I'm right on with you. That's my favorite shopping center.
Yeah.
I think one of the things I've personally enjoyed is all of my past large-scale art installation projects, I've been the lead artist in the head, and so getting to instead like support Kelly's vision and work with her on trying to develop some of the like fabrication techniques for some of the like, details and things, and trying to help get the project organized in a way to where she's able to really execute her vision without getting bogged down with every little single bit of it has been kind of fun and nice being able to play like a different side of it and being in a support role instead of in the lead scene. So I really enjoyed that kind of flip, and I think that I've learned a lot about not only seeing more about what I can do better leading future projects that I want to engage in, but also how I can be more supportive of other people's projects and how we could teach other people to take on different roles and things like that. So that's been really exciting for me personally, is learning more from being in different parts of the project, structure of how project teams really come together and how they work together best.
You know, I have to totally agree with you. I mean, many times it's fun to have that leadership role where, you get to manifest something that's really dear to you, but it's also a lot of fun helping somebody else manifest theirs. And yeah, you're right, it's a completely different dynamic. And again, I think this is what's so incredibly unique, with Burning Man, and having these 11 principles now. It used to be 10, but these 11 principles, and where it's really radical inclusion, where we work together, where it's, we're creators and visionaries, and we're connecting. And I think that's perhaps one of the most beautiful things that so many people just don't understand who don't know Burning Man. It's a community of beautiful souls that, stretches out to the rest of the world with a ripple effect. And so I really commend all of you, for doing what you're doing. And it's such a wonderful gift as a burner to see the work and then be able to interact with it and have our own experience. And so for me, it's important then, I guess, to ask you, how could we help you? Are there specific questions, specific things, specific support? And of course, I always have to add, funding. How can we support you guys in this magnificent work?
Point people towards social media.
Yeah.
We have a GoFundMe running. You can find it at Ursula.octopus.
Okay.
That's the animal with a period in between. Ursula.octopus. If you want to find us on social media,
We have Instagram, Facebook.
all under Ursula the Octopus.
Awesome. Yeah, and so
Yes.
by the way, you can add links. I mean, I've already added some links on this one already, so people can go to those pages. I think I have the GoFundMe page on there already. And but the best thing you guys can do is, once it's posted on the Transformational Art of Burning Man, just share it, because my hope is that a lot of artists will come to this page. A lot of burners will come to this page and begin to recognize, the wonderful things that you guys are doing. Not waiting till they get there, but super excited to connect with the energy that you guys have created. So by all means. So as we wrap it up, I just want to ask you guys, anyone, any last words that you'd like to share for us burners?
This is my first Burning Man, so it's going to be exciting.
Nice.
Part of a project, and instead of just being able to be a part of something, and when I get there, I'd be like, oh, I was part of that. I helped make that and make it amazing for people. So it's exciting for me in that part.
I love it. Anyone?
My 10th year, and also the largest project I've ever been a part of. And on the back end, always having been involved with something, whether it be theme camps or murals at center camp or some way, like having the opportunity to work with Kelly is just such a blessing. So thank you, and thank you for coming out and enjoying it.
Yeah, I would say that I recommend that anybody out there thinking about working on a project to jump into it, because even if you've never been on Playa, this is like working with people who have this mindset and this ability and this drive. Really feels like having a piece of Playa at home with you. That atmosphere comes because all these personalities, they're all really fun and interesting people, and it gives you that atmosphere of freedom and comfort and inspiration to do more with your own art.
Sweet.
Oh, you got it. All right, I was gonna say, for the glamour shots that everyone's always after and focus on engaging and being present, working through the struggles as a team, as a group of friends, as a family, that really makes that strong connection. That really makes the experience worthwhile. Going to a theme camp or a turnkey camp, sure, you can have a good time, but the whole point is surviving this hellish environment together. And people form the tightest bonds when they overcome crazy obstacles together. So whether it's getting engaged on an art project that you don't even know what you're doing, or helping a group of people set up all at the burn.
Yeah, I love it. And that is so unique about Burning Man, is those extreme conditions and the surprises. And sometimes you're halfway through the burn and now the project finally came together, if you're lucky.
Yeah, or you finally made it to the burn. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right.
So, Callie, last word to you?
I think I'll let Marco go.
No, okay, Marco.
I would definitely add, for all of the people watching this and all of the people that come and see the project, I think one of the things that really struck me about Burning Man, and really my first time at Burning Man was what inspired me to get into installation art in the first place, because I went there and an entirely new universe opened up of possibility.
Mm-hmm.
There weren't the limits anymore on what I could conceive of doing with art, of what I can conceive of with changing the environment that I was in and the people around me were in. And I realized that there were a bunch of people coming together to create this entirely new space and this entirely new place where we could leave the universe that we had previously known and engage in something completely different. And so I would say, check out the different art projects as they're coming together and see the struggle and see the journey and everything like that, but also allow them to inspire you to reach past the limitations that you previously thought were on you and on what you could achieve. Realize that when we come together as teams and communities and families, we can create absolutely amazing things, and we can push the limits of what's possible and create anything we want.
Yeah, you certainly said it very well, Marco. I mean, it's just this place of all possibilities, and that's what's so much fun. It's limitless, and there's nothing more fun just to expand. And thanks to you guys, as interactive burners, we get to have that same experience. So thank you, absolutely, from the heart as well. All right, now, Callie, your turn.
I mean, collectively, I think we've kind of all touched on the special things. I feel like it's really important to sort of say that experiencing large art and having these experiences, especially out on Playa, you certainly are inspired by what you see and the people that you meet and the connections that you make. And sometimes leaving that and coming back to, the default world, it can be sometimes intimidating to try and take on a big project, but it's really, if you really want something, if you are really inspired, follow that, and what you set your mind and your intentions to, you can totally do. Anything really is possible if you really want it. And I feel like delving into art and collaborating with your community is a great way to connect and to sort of bring those ideals and those connections that we are so easily done on Maya out into our community. And that's sort of how we can bring back what we take from there and sort of how to exist in this plane too. And that's I feel like one of the biggest takeaways for me each time is to sort of incorporate that lifestyle into everyday lifestyle.
Yeah.
Certainly needs more of that.
Yeah, spot on. And guess how many people we can influence in a wonderful, beautiful, magical way as well by doing that. So, love what you guys are doing. Thank you so much. I'm Bart Rademacher, and this is Transformational Art at Burning Man. And we have a little treat after this, so stay tuned. It's a little outro from Travis. He made some amazing film work last year. And so just watch this and stay connected on this platform right now, because once it's over, I'll get back to you. So hold on a second.